We are back here at the Blizzard Arena in beautiful, sunny California. It was rainy this morning. It's sunny now, though, so that is a true fact. But right now...
I think it's dark outside right now.
Is it? I don't know. I'm just inside watching video games. I don't know what's going on outside.
It's not sunny.
I've heard there's a world outside the Blizzard Arena, but I have not been there too often. But guess what, Monty?
Time still eludes you.
It does. That's right. And time is running out for the Seoul Dynasty. You like that one? As they are down 0-2 to Boston Uprising. If they lose this next map, they are going to lose this series. And coming into this one, remember, we talked about it, that the strength that we thought they would have is Michelle's Sombra play. We know Boston struggled with the Sombra, but it just hasn't materialized. Seoul Dynasty unwilling to do it so far.
And aha is the other thing we'll say, because Aim God has been amazing this match, like we talked about at halftime.
Really
but not only statistically, I mean, he was dealing 4,500 more damage than Jaehong and out healing him at the same time in that last
crazy,
map.
Actually, yeah.
But it was really... We saw Boston's plan against the Sombra, which is hide Aim God and trance through the EMP, and he's been doing a great job with his positioning. So I mean, that's not a thing that we can quantify with stats.
Sure.
That's just sick play.
Well, the thing is, too, is it was a Munchkin Sombra, right? We still have yet to see Michelle's Sombra in this series.
Well, guess what? You're not seeing it right now either.
I was like, did I miss something? But he's not playing he's not. He's playing Diva again, Monty. Boston Uprising. Oh, they just walk onto Jaehong. What? Note just hunts him down. Note is like becoming one of the most deadly Zenyatta hunters in the entire league, man. Remember what he did to Raucus when they played Houston?
That was an amazing mind game. That was an amazing mind game by Boston Uprising. So normally you think, wow, it's Ryan Goats versus Ryan Goats. That Diva's probably going to be coming through that doorway. Note was on the low ground and just boosted up and popped Jaehong. They did not expect him to be there. And obviously, what Seoul should have done is just speed boosted themselves into the door, but they didn't even have that opportunity.
I'm like, if Zenyatta was like an animal in the encyclopedia, you'd look it up and it would say, under its natural predators, it would just have a picture of Note.
He's really good at killing Zens. I know a lot of people were criticizing Raucus after the Boston Outlaws match.
No, man, Note's good at killing Zens.
Note was hunting Raucus down.
He was. I talked to him a little bit after that match. He says he loves it, man. He loves hunting Zens. There's a nice shatter from Fissure. So Seoul Dynasty able to win this defensive fight at least. So they've slowed down the Boston Uprising freight train, but barely. Boston still with 6:30 on the clock here.
Yeah, that's pretty funny stuff right there.
Yeah, and you're okay with losing that, honestly, if you're Boston, because you've got a ton of ultimates coming up soon. That was just sort of a push. I mean, you give a lot of ultimate charge over to Seoul, but, whatevs.
Yeah, across both seasons, that's an interesting stat, 10 and 1. Yeah, they used to be undefeated for a long time on the map last season.
That's true.
Very different roster now.
Yep, very different meta as well. But Boston's still looking like they will not be denied. Kellick's looking for the sick boop. Trying to get in behind that Reinhardt if he can. He's going to have to dodge the self-destruct first, though. Able to do just that as Fusions walks onto the point. Now Seoul Dynasty's scrambling. They've got Fleda's grab, but we'll see when they use it. That's going to be a grab from the Boston side. Here comes the bigger bang. No kills out of that one, though. Now the shatter comes in from Fusion's counter shatter onto Seoul. That's going to be Jexa taken out. And Boston with a good start here in this fight.
Aim God fragging out, too.
Yeah, man.
Again, dealing a lot of damage, and now the control percent is going to start to work up in favor of Boston.
Boston Uprising, they come out of this halftime looking even better than they did going into it. They're looking unstoppable right now. What can you say? It's going to be a sound barrier from Seoul as they try to find some sort of purchase on the point. Jaehong does kill Fusions, and maybe off the back of that shatter from Fissure, they'll be able to win a fight. Looks like they will, but man, that was about as close as it gets. 91.3% taken by Boston Uprising. They're going to need that full last tick again, but that's not tough to get.
Yeah, and credit to Fissure, too. That's 2 fights in a row with Shatter that he's won for Seoul.
Yeah.
Clutching it out, especially that first one that he had. Could have been a snowball disaster in favor of the Boston Uprising with their big ult economy. Didn't happen, thanks to Fissure's Shatter skills. And, of course, we know Fissure is a super clutch player.
Yeah. Like, him and Carpe kind of stand out in my mind as the 2 players that come up when their teams really, really need them to in the last possible moment. But you don't generally want to be in a situation that requires that if you're that team to begin with.
Aim got almost another trance, too.
Yeah, he's
Seoul might not be expecting this.
We'll see. There's a grab from Boston again. It's going to be the trance from Jaehong. And now the self-destruct coming in. Munchkin not caught by that. Put his shield up in time. There's the grab now from Fleta. And no kills out of that self-destruct. It looks like maybe, but they just couldn't get rid of the shield from Fusions. But now Fusions slamming down that Earth Shatter. They try to protect Fleta, and they do just that. So Boston still having to grind through this. Now Fleta coming in from behind, nearly killed Blase before the healing came in. And Fissure again gets a big shatter. That's the third fight in a row. And in the end, it's been Fissure's Earth Shatter that's turned things around. A kill on Fusions, and now as Color Hex goes down, that's going to be another one fight by Seoul. So Seoul Dynasty finally putting together a good defense here, and Boston Uprising used pretty much everything they had in that last fight.
Yeah, Seoul easily stabilizing there. Boston never really had an opportunity to get any efficient combos off, thanks to the positioning pretty far back from the Seoul Dynasty. Nice stagger.
Yeah,
on a note.
Ouch. Well, Seoul Dynasty at least has given themselves some breathing room. There's still 3.5 minutes, so Boston Uprising has plenty of time to build up more ultimates and just roll in and take that last tick. It's still looking good for Boston, but Seoul's at least eaten a lot of time after the time bank, right?
Yeah, they have, and Seoul also super happy because they can just slowly use ultimates here on this defense.
That's what they're hoping anyway.
Just have that strong economy for a very long time.
Yep. All right, Boston coming in from the cave. Here we go, going in with that rally. They're gonna get the Transcendence on Jaehong right away. Just gonna hang out in the middle there. Has to back away at the end. Gonna be the rally now from Seoul. Giving themselves the extra armor. It's a standoff on the point right now. Neither team really wanted to give an inch. There's the grab. Fletcher just lobs it in. He was watching that defense matrix cool down. Ooh, that self-destruct clearing off a lot of the shields that Boston had. Now Fissure goes down though. They're able to turn it back around, and Seoul Dynasty again just gets rocked in this fight, and that's gonna be it, man. No stopping Boston now. They are gonna finish point B. They're gonna have about 3 minutes left in the time bank with that.
Yeah, they'll feel very confident about that. They keep surviving these Graviton self-destruct combos when they don't have beat. Like, that shouldn't be happening so consistently, but their shield placement has been good enough that Boston's been able to survive.
Just unable to get rid of that shield from Reinhardt. Do it.
Yeah, all right. Taking a look at this last replay here as well.
Oh, Fissure's animation got canceled by the Brigitte there.
Yep.
Fusions comes
like
in with the charge. And,
beautiful play by Fusions. Of course, it can be hard to see things when everybody's so close together, but Fusions making the plays.
The mosh pit is hard to decipher sometimes. That's for sure.
It's a great mosh pit. Lots of shiny lights in there.
Yeah, I was known to do some moshing back in the day.
I don't know, Joe. You've said
it's true.
You said a lot of like hello fellow kids stuff. that might be like a 10.
Oh yes, back in my day we were known to mosh once in a while.
Wow.
we learned the Power Man 5000, Static X, yes. A little bit of the Slipknot. And my friends would mosh. You would mosh all night.
I did some moshing in my time.
I don't know why I had a British accent there. You went back in the good old days.
You went so far back in time. It was before the British came to America, I think. Right
Listen
there.
to our hardcore music on our wax cylinders, on our Edison home phonographs. Yep. A simpler time, MonteCristo. Simpler time. But now, things getting a bit complex for Seoul. 2:27 on the clock for Boston. Seoul Dynasty needs a great attack if they are going to stay alive in this series. What in the world do we talk about on cast sometimes?
Well, Winston going to be doing the usual Winston thing of trying to delay people as they go through there. 42% the ult charge, and the whole point of these kind of defenses, if you're playing Winston triple tank, triple support, you're just buying time and trying to get Primal Rage as fast as you can, because the Reinhardt comp is going to win if they can get onto the point and you don't have an ult advantage.
That's the thing. Seoul Dynasty on the high ground now, trying to find a way to advance onto Boston.
Fleta?
Oh, he's getting aggressive. Trying to put some pressure up onto Note Fusions up there, I suppose. Fusions, though, getting closer and closer to that Primal Rage. Seoul Dynasty starting to chip away at the control percent here. Time for Diva to raise her APM, apparently. Fissure, ooh, with a nice charge on the Color Hex. That's going to be exactly what Seoul needs. You gotta get that Zarya first. That's what they did. There goes Fusions, and it looks like Boston gonna just try to buy as much time as they can. Save that ultimate percentage for point B now.
Yeah, and that was a situation, Noah, where I think Boston got confused because that Zarya positioning on the arch is really unusual for Reinhardt attacks. And they sort of got their attention split right there, and that gave Fissure access to the back of the point where he could zone somebody into a corner and actually execute the charge onto Color Hex. That was creative from Seoul.
Well, got the point A, and it got them a lot of ultimates about ready to go here on point B. They do have a chance to just roll this. Boston Uprising, if Seoul goes in right now, Boston definitely shorthanded in the ult department. They gotta finish this fight fast. That's not what Seoul's been good at so far in the series. Pushing Seoul back again. Jaehoong pops that Transcendence. Gotta watch out for that self-destruct. The shield gets up just in time. They push Boston off the payload, but they gotta get the kills. There goes Fusions first. Now chasing the way. Aim God pops his own down and ultimate to get back on the point, but there's the grab. They need kills out of this one. Can they do it? Aim God down. Another good one for Fissure. Ooh, Fusion's knocked down by that self-destruct, or that shatter rather. Kellex gets the sound barrier off, so Boston with another opportunity to fight this. Now the grab comes in for Boston. Can Seoul maintain? They've got the barrier. They're waiting for it. And you know what? Michelle's just going to throw in the self-destruct. Not going to get anybody, but it does create enough space for Seoul Dynasty to push people off. They are grinding out this fight. And now, Boston Uprising just trying to take as much time off the time bank as they can before they potentially lose B, and they will. Seoul Dynasty, for once in this series, executing exactly how they needed to do it.
Note faked a self-destruct at the end, which baited the sound barrier out. That was actually really good by Boston, but they couldn't actually win it thanks to having a fewer number of players.
Quick break, and when we come back, extra time on Anubis. Temple of Anubis.
So what I was saying there is, Note, when the grab came down, Note popped himself up in the Diva, which made it look like he actually had a self-destruct, which caused the sound barrier to come out, which was actually like a really cool play. But unfortunately, Boston actually couldn't convert off of that, and they find themselves at a pretty big disadvantage now.
In the end, you're just one of those snakes that looks like it's a poisonous snake because of the colors, but it's not. No danger at all.
I think Note's been pretty dangerous this match, but...
He's usually a coral snake, but he was a milk snake in that fight.
He was a milk snake in that fight.
Seoul Dynasty on the defense is Boston Uprising with less time in the time bank. 5:23 for Seoul Dynasty. That's the best push that we've seen from them all day long. Boston, oh, all right, scattering. Seoul Dynasty getting a little bit aggressive here. I mean, when you look at the way Seoul's moving right now, it just feels like you see the confidence. But that's a great rotation from Boston.
Yeah, however, they were, like, Seoul was playing aggressive because of Note's positioning last time.
Oh, checks it.
Doesn't help him this time, though.
Not so much. Down there, Lucio, and now they're down there, Reinhardt. Boston able to catch Seoul a bit unawares. Looked like they were backing off and made the quick move around to the side. Goodbye, Michelle. That's going to be a quick point A from Boston.
So the reason why Seoul was playing so far forward was they were looking for Note again, who was hiding on the low ground last time and popped Jaehoong. However, Boston was all together, and that meant they could speed boost through the choke without any kind of contest. There are some awesome mind games going on from Boston in this match.
Oh, this has turned into a really great series with this map right now. Seoul Dynasty trying to just sustain here. They've got some ultimates coming up soon, though. So you might end up seeing a fairly even fight ultimate-wise, depending on how long this takes to get going here.
There's a lot of poking right now. Boston really wants a couple more ultimates. Rally's going to be the trigger for them to engage and start pushing forward.
A little bit extra armor. Seoul Dynasty, they're going to use their Transcendence to get aggressive onto Boston. Boston has aim god use his as well. Now, the dangerous ults are up. We've got grabs for both teams pretty much here. Yeah, Fleta's got his now too. Munchkin hiding for it. All right, there's a grab. Gets eaten. Both grabs eaten at the same time. Sound barriers over both teams now. Ultimate parity here is both self-destructs get used as well. And finally, Fusion's taken out by Munchkin. Fissure responding as well. And Seoul Dynasty, after one of the weirdest engages I have seen yet this season, able to come out on top.
That was really weird, Doa. As you say, Fusion's trying to go for the Hail Mary charge.
I guess so.
Onto, like, into the mix, but didn't actually end up working out for them. A little bit shooty, got stunned by the Brigitte.
The DJ is the one in the mix in Overwatch.
That's right.
Yeah, not Reinhardt.
Never go into the mix.
DJ in the mix. Boston Uprising trying again. I can't believe both grabs got eaten there. Actually, I can totally believe both grabs got eaten there. Here we go. Boston on the point. Double support ultimates available for Seoul. They've got the tools to survive this, to weather the storm, and just 10 seconds remaining for Boston. Gonna go some now. They gotta keep Fleta alive though. On the Dynasty side, Jexay looking for the boops. Has to back away now. Fleta waiting for that grab. Here we go, in overtime now for Boston. On their overtime attack run. They're gonna go in on the back of the Transcendence from both ends here. Waiting for it to go down. Kellex does not have the sound barrier yet. Opportunity for Seoul. The grab used though by Boston. There's gonna be the sound barrier from Seoul. Munchkins able to take down Fusions. And there's Fissure back with another big self-destruct, or another big shatter rather. A lot of ultimates being used. That self-destruct does not gain Boston much, and that's OT ticking. Seoul Dynasty able to hold Boston to 1 point in OT.
Now you wonder whether there's going to be an interesting defense here for the Boston Uprising. You're effectively all in on A defense.
Yep.
I want to see the Junkrat Doa. I want to see the Orisa.
We will see what Seoul's got in mind. We'll see what Boston's got in mind. A lot of Zumba fans in the audience today, judging by those signs seen. Hopefully we'll get to see him in lineup at some point in the season.
Yeah, it is a bit curious that we haven't seen him yet, but then again,
I miss Zumba too, guys.
Michelle does have so much flexibility, especially in this meta, going back and forth between the Sombra and the Diva, and obviously Fleta has better flexibility for other heroes.
Well, that's really it, isn't it? Zumba we know is a great off tank, but you know, doesn't apparently seem to have the flexibility that Fleta offers at this point. So
yeah, or Michelle on the DPS at least. So we'll see. May see Zumba back again.
A lot of Lunatic High fans from back in the day still carry that flame for Zumba, Jaehong.
So do you, Doa. So do you.
I do. It is true. It is true.
Man, I'm a little bummed to see this composition from Boston, but I think the answer is like, if they draw, they win this match. So they can give up A as long as they can full hold B. So I guess I get it.
Very true. That makes sense. You're setting up for point B hold, right? You're holding off A as long as you can, and then hopefully you've got the ult percentage to make it last on B. Seoul Dynasty going up to the 3-3 again.
They're not running Winston this time.
Not this time, no. No, ooh, nearly demeched immediately. Jaehong down though, they get him anyway, and Fissure taken out. Whoa, Boston Uprising. They lose Note's mech, and that may come back to haunt them, but initial fight won by Boston.
That was interesting. So they played that like they were playing a Winston, intercepting them there, but they actually had the Reinhardt. They just went in for the aggressive pin. But
interesting.
I don't know if that was the play, because like you say, Note got demeched, and that might be disastrous.
You can get that mech back fast, but Seoul knows they've got a big window here to just charge the point.
But Seoul can walk through the choke because they have a defensive matrix, so...
That's the plan anyway. They're going in. They know Note doesn't have the Diva mech yet. If they can kill him, that would be huge. Boston Uprising scrambling a little bit. Note so close to getting the mech back. 94%, 99. Is he going to get it? Gets it back. That is crucial for Boston. Dangerous, scary moment for the Uprising. But now they're back up to full strength on the defense.
One thing they did have going for them was Fusion's got that shatter up really quickly. And Fissure, even though there wasn't a defensive matrix on the other side, wasn't able to build it with the Fire Strike.
Here we go. It's going to be the rally from Boston. Now they're going to have to try to use Jaehong's Transcendence to get an aggression here. Fusion's really low. Can they finish him? Everyone on Boston trying to keep Fusions alive. They can't quite do it. They do lose Munchkin in the process, so Fissure in trouble, down as well. And Boston coming back with another one fight. Here on A, this point A defense has gone better than they could have even hoped for.
Yeah, I love the changes in tactics we're seeing from the Uprising. They are giving Seoul so many looks. Like their first attack, they played Reinhardt, but they played it as if they were playing a Winston. And this defense, they're playing Reinhardt, but they're playing it as if they were playing a Winston. Like, it's really weird, but I think the mind games are really winning.
That's the thing, is these teams trying their best to outsmart each other with every move, every play here. Seoul Dynasty with a couple tank ultimates. As they walk into this, AimGod not afraid. He's got the Transcendence, but now he gets stunned. Oh, that's dangerous. They do have the sound barrier, though. Flooded down. He can't quite do it. Oh, but there's a 3K from the shell. That self-destruct is huge for Seoul. Can they chain this into a point A take, though? Finishing off Note. Now you got to get on the point.
They are going to get onto the point. So finally, they're going to take point A, Doa.
Yeah, just leave Note. Just stagger that guy.
Yeah, this is... They're going to leave him there for a little bit longer.
Why not?
He does not get his back up, obviously. Does have a self-destruct now for this defense. Stagger actually didn't end up mattering that much. And Seoul had to use a lot.
Yeah.
AimGod will be frustrated that he used that trance.
Well, yeah. I mean, use it after you get shattered, you lose a couple members. That's a rough thing for Zen.
Yeah, it was rough. Good combo from Seoul that time.
Yep.
Able to capitalize on those eliminations. And now, the poke duel. Boston really wants this grab if they can get it.
I mean, Seoul Dynasty only needs the first tick to point B to win the map. That's the crucial thing here. Boston needs to have a Herculean hold here. Fissure had a lot of good shatters on this point before. Gets the shield up in time. There's the counter shatter. Nice fire strike through the middle of it. There goes Fusions. Seoul Dynasty may have just won this series. Color Hex, or not series, this map anyway. As Color Hex goes down, Calyx trying to just delay for as long as he can. Seoul's taken no time on the point just yet. Calyx has been playing great all series. Note DMAC now. Seoul Dynasty still just waiting, but it's 1-for-1 now for Boston, just trickling people onto the point. And eventually, they're gonna have to give this one up. There's a grab, all right. Munchkin trapped in it. J-Hunk there with the trance. Things are still going okay for Seoul Dynasty. No being annoying. They're just gonna solo shatter him to try to finish this one off. But there are more respawns. Can they get there? No. And Seoul Dynasty keeps themselves alive in this series. They will take Anubis.
Yeah, and Note threw the self-destruct in there because he wanted to buy the time to get Color Hex.
Yep.
The Graviton Surge. Seoul had too much of an advantage, though. Easy roll for the Dynasty into a map win.
Boston with another chance to finish this on map 4. We'll see if they can do just that right after the break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.